Oh my god, I got him.
Settings becomes necessary. You want to go down to sensitivity, and again, customize is what you're looking for. I like to start off with a medium overall sensitivity and tweak from there, right? So what you're going to see is the first section here is the camera sensitivity, your free look. This is essentially looking around like this. How sensitive is your camera? When you look around, you know, for me, the default was pretty much good to go. I don't need to see any faster or slower. Some people, though, prefer to speed this up so you can do a full 360, like when you spin, would you swipe your thumb from the left to the right, or if your claw, swipe your finger, however you play. But basically, you know, I can spin as far as I need to. If I do, you know, have to swipe twice, it's okay. I'm pretty much comfortable with that, how it is. So back to sensitivity. Next section, your camera is while you are, you know, kind of looking in, you can see with a scope, what are you moving around with that camera? No scope, red dot, 2x, 3x, 4x, 6x, and 8x. There's also a differentiation between third person and first person no scope. And again, you want to be able to spin a little bit faster, I think, in third person than first, because first could be a little disorienting. You get that seasickness. That being said, notice the values, right? This is kind of how fast you look around when you're scoped in. Now let's look at the next section down, ADS sensitivity. ADS sensitivity means aim down sight. So aiming down sight sensitivity, and what this essentially means, it's poorly worded here, is how much are you able to control your recoil while the fire button is active, while it is depressed. So essentially what you're seeing is when you zoom in, right now, how much sensitivity is there on this scope, right? That's the ADS sensitivity. Now, faster sensitivity means you can control it more, but it's not necessarily the best thing in the world. So check this out. If we go down to our ADS sensitivity and we grab our 4 times and it's at 26% now, what if we jack that up to like 104%? We'll go ahead and zoom in, and again, looking around, it's not 104%. It's the same as it always was. But now let's go ahead and try to fire. You see how you can literally, I mean, it's pretty crazy to try to control. So that's what ADS sensitivity is. Yeah, that's bad. So what you want to do for each scope is when you go in, let's go ahead and dial this in, right? Find a target, something that's a reasonable range for that particular optics. Let's go ahead and find 90 meters here. This is kind of what I want to try to fire at, right? And again, it's almost impossible to control. So we know right off that that's way, way too much. So into the sensitivity we go. We want to go to ADS sensitivity and look at our 4-time scope, right? We set it to 104%. Let's go way down to like 10% and see if that's any better. So we'll zoom in on the 90 and fire, and we're pulling down. It's better, but we can't control the actual recoil. It's going to raise much, much higher than we can control. So what you want to do is kind of set it to a point where, picture this, right? You've got your device, you've got your finger on the trigger. Now you're gonna be pulling that down towards the bottom of the screen, and you wanna make sure that you can get off an entire magazine of rounds. So 40 bullets before your thumb gets to the bottom of that screen. You wanna feel the recoil. You wanna feel it climbing up against where you're pulling down, because you want that resistance. You wanna be able to keep it at head level while you're firing. So let's go ahead and adjust once again. Remember, we were at 28% before. I'm gonna get close to that. And we will dial in, say, 22%. Now let's go ahead, zoom in, 90. Not bad, except for I was struggling to keep it down a little bit. So let's go back in, sensitivity, we'll go down to the 4x, and this is going to bump up a little bit more. I had it set at 28. We'll go ahead, go back to 28, and we'll take a look at what this did for our sensitivity. Bingo! We are dialed in right here, right now. And again, guys, this is different for every single scope out there. The 2 times is going to be different, right? Let's go for a little bit closer target, 50 meters here. And as you can see, that is a lot of neck shots right there on that personal, that target. Let's go ahead and fire headshots. I mean, you guys can see the damage inflicted right there on that target. That's a lot of headshots. A lot of headshots. So again, if you go into the sensitivity, we can check out the 2-time scope. And as you can see, it's a heck of a lot higher than 28%. It's set at 40. Well, what happens again if we bump it up to 56 when you zoom in? Again, it has nothing to do with looking around. You can still fire even, semi-auto and you're fine. The problem is when you go full auto, right? I mean, maybe you want that type of like violence on your controls. Bad, but I want to fight it. Bad. Oh no, how'd I miss that? Got automatic fire. This is bad news, boys. I just had my first death. I don't know where that guy came from with the Graza. No idea. It's starting to get intense though. They could catch up. AR so I can pull out of somebody. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, what's up? Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my living room. Alright, well that was too easy. You can't put me in.